we also go to Harley Lucy? Can we go over there? What is she's freaking out right now? I love it when people are like, ah! What did you think you were coming to? A dance? You think I wouldn't see you guys?
Hi.
First of all, where are you from?
Ontario, like Toronto.
Oh, perfect. Well, first of all, I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you.
Now, this is interesting, okay? Because right away, there's a couple souls I'm seeing with you. There's a grandmother that's here that's stepping forward with you on the other side. She's extremely strong around you. You also have a grandfather that's here with you, but you didn't really know him that much or wasn't all that close to him, he's showing me.
Yeah.
But your grandmother was like your mom when I'm connecting. Like she was extremely close, especially when you were a little girl, because right away she's saying to me, Matt, come talk to her. Come talk to her.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something. First of all, this woman is so excited to come through. Because she tells me, Matt, can you please let her know that back when she was a little girl, she says, I knew that I was sick, she tells me. She says, and that's the reason why she wanted to spend as much time with you as possible.
Yeah.
She says, I felt it was a blessing just getting to know you, she's telling me. What's crazy is this, your grandmother's telling me, now, this is, hold on a second, I'm just listening to everything she's telling me. She's with so many people on the other side. But it's funny because she tells me that, first of all, she wants to thank you for talking to her all the time, because she tells me that you're constantly talking to her. And she's like, Matt, can you tell her that, I might be in the spirit world, but I can't help her with everything she's telling me. She goes, every time something goes wrong, every time something happens, she's like, you're literally talking to your grandmother with everything.
Yeah.
And what the hell just happened? Did you just get a speeding ticket? Was it just an issue with your car?
Yeah, my car just gave out on me.
She's telling me when I'm connected, I see you on the side of the road, and your mother and your grandma's telling me that you need to be careful what you're doing in the car, because she's also talking about you getting pulled over by police. So did you not get your car inspected, or what was the issue with you being pulled over?
No, I didn't. I got in a car accident. I crashed my car.
Okay, your grandmother's telling me that you need to slow the hell down. Because your grandma's going like this. She goes, Matt, she goes, sometimes she goes, I know that in spirit, like we don't get nervous. She goes, but I got to tell you something. She's like, I have to tell her. She's like that I'm still her grandmother on the other side. And she can't be doing this shit, she tells me. Because she tells me you have major road rage and you need to calm down. Why do you get so upset?
Because people are so annoying on the road, man.
She's going to me. She goes, Matt, she goes, tell her that I'm so worried about her. She goes, I don't want her to get in trouble, she says to me. And more importantly, she goes, I don't want her to get hurt. Yeah. She's like, relax. And she says to me, she goes, you know what it is, Matt? She really doesn't give a shit about her car, she's telling me. She tells me you let like the tires go low. You do like all these things. You don't care about maintenance. That not true?
Yeah. Literally, the muffler fell off and I kept driving it.
Shut the hell up. This is what I'm saying, that your loved ones know your life. And your grandmother goes to me, she goes, oh my God, man. She goes, I couldn't wait to tell her this. She goes, because I saved her from one accident, she tells me. And I'm not gonna, she goes, I can't save her again. She goes, that's what she tells me. She goes, so all I can do is come through and tell you this message. She says, because she says, honestly and truly, she says to me, you need to slow down. She goes, and you need to pay more attention. She's telling me this. And by the way, is it all right to tell you everything?
Yeah.
You don't seem confident in that, because your grandmother's telling me things, and oh my God, I don't want to say what she's telling me.
Go ahead. She's a crazy lady.
Well, listen, she's so crazy on the other side, because your grandmother's telling me that she saw you smoking the silly smoke. She tells me.
The silly smoke?
The silly smoke.
The silly smoke, yeah.
The silly smoke. And she says to me, Matt, she goes, what the hell is she doing? Can you tell her it's not for her anxiety? She tells me, because you keep saying you do it for your anxiety. Your grandmother says to me, tell her that she's growing up too quickly. She has to stop with all of this, she's telling me. Do you understand that? Because listen, your loved ones can see your life. And your grandmother tells me this. She says, listen, she says, the one thing that she wants to let you know is this. She goes, Matt, please know that I'm only saying this, she says, because I can see all areas of her life. She says, and I don't like to see her so stressed out, she tells me. She tells me when I'm connecting with her, she goes, listen, take each day by day. Don't sweat the small stuff. She goes, don't worry about what happens in the car. Don't worry about who's driving what way. She goes, you need to focus on you. That's what she keeps telling me. She says, and you know, Matt, she tells me that you're so super sensitive here in this world. And she says to me that that's the reason why sometimes you used to smoke. She tells me because you wouldn't want to feel all the emotions that you feel. Is that true?
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd feel very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But your grandmother says to me, listen, you've always felt that way. You've always been really super sensitive. She goes, and that's what I've always loved about you. She tells me that in the beginning, like there was a question of you working in healthcare. Did you want to work in healthcare?
I wanted to do a natural path. Yeah.
Was it a natural path in terms of holistic?
Yeah.
Your grandmother was showing me healthcare when I'm connecting with her. So I feel like back when you were younger, either you talked about either going into nursing or going into some type of medicine, because I see that coming up.
A natural path is more so like finding natural ways to heal your body rather than using. Yeah.
Well, listen, it would be the same thing for me. I was an EMT. I chose traditional medicine, but look, I'm doing natural healing now. You know, it all goes hand in hand. I believe personally, I mean, you can believe what you want. I believe traditional medicine and spirituality and spiritual medicine all goes hand in hand to me. And I will tell you this, your grandmother's saying to me, stay on that path, stay on that path. She's telling you, because you know, what's interesting is that you're talking about this, but your grandmother says to me that she always felt that you were going to be a counselor or a teacher because you had that deep intuition and that really strong connection to other people. And she's saying to me, don't try to avoid that. Don't let anything interfere with that. She says, you are who you are. And she's bringing that up.
Yeah.
She also says to me that you're stressed out because there was a relationship issue that was going on. She's telling me. And she talks about, she keeps telling me about a breakup that had happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So please know that it's your grandmother's way of acknowledging, listen, don't let that control your whole life. She says, you need to stay on your path. She says, and you need to focus on your future. Don't focus on what's going on right here and right now. Think about, will this affect me 5 years in the future? Will this affect me 10 years into the future? That's what you have to worry about. Those things that will.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
She talks about you having a really hard time moving past that relationship. And your grandmother is telling me that's where your anger and that's where your stress and that's where all of this is coming from. And she's saying to me this. She's saying to me, Matt, she goes, at the end of the day, she says she can't. I'm going to be very honest with you. Okay. So when was this breakup? This
happened in June.
She's telling me what I'm connecting. Like I saw this breakup that happened because your loved ones will show me things in signs and stages. And your grandmother showed me this breakup happened. She saw two people walking away from one another. And then she showed me that you feel like your life has been a standstill from that moment. Like you haven't been able to do anything.
It was the 6 years. So it was just kind of a lot. And like I had dealt with a lot with him. So it was kind of just.
I want to tell you something, but I don't want to make you upset. And I really have to tell you, okay? I'm sorry. I know I keep saying that, but you will have to realize that I'm just the messenger. I'm telling this to everyone that's here. So sometimes I have a hard time saying things because I don't want to hurt you or say something.
She didn't give a shit. She never cared.
Listen, as long as you know it's from her and not from me, because I feel bad. I do. Your grandmother's telling me this. She says, Matt, can you please let her know that he had no plans on getting married?
Yeah, I know.
And no plans on being a father or having kids or doing any of those things. So she needs you to know this because I'm going to bring up something because listen, our loved ones can see everything. And your grandmother said to me this. She said, Matt, he had no intention on marrying her. He had no intention on having kids. He had no intention on building a life with her. And it's so hard because you keep going back and you keep saying, we had so much with one another. I had so much invested in him. I had so much invested in this relationship. And you keep saying, oh my God, I wonder if we stayed together, if this would have happened. And your grandmother's saying to me that you did the right choice. Because at the end of the day, this person wasn't going to give you what you needed.
Yeah.
So as hard as this has been, look at all the things that have gone on in your life since this breakup had happened. You got into that car accident. She talks about you having fights with friends and family members. She's telling me about the fact that you've been feeling like you've lost your path. She says to me, listen, all of that you're feeling, all that's going on in your life is that person's energy, not yours. So your grandmother says it's okay to let it go. She needs you to know that.
Yeah.
She says, because I will be honest with you, sometimes things fall apart so other things can fall together. And your grandmother does show me the vision of an engagement ring. So when I see that, that means to me that you will be engaged. I do see that. And I wouldn't lie to you and tell you that I didn't, because it doesn't come from me. It comes from your grandmother. So know that it's her way of acknowledging from the other side that you will be meeting your person. And your grandmother's saying that when you look back on this, you're going to say, oh my God, thank God this had happened.
Yeah.
So she says, listen, she says, she's going like this. She goes, Matt, I love her. I love her. Please tell her that on the other side, I'm looking out for her. So as hard as it is, and as stressful it is, and as tough as it is, and as much as your heart is hurting, please know that this is your grandmother's way of saying that she's your protector on the other side. She is watching over you every day. She says, and Matt, please let her know I have her back, she tells me.
Oh God, I love that old bitch.
Well, listen, I want to thank you. Listen, don't forget she can hear you. So she just heard.
Yeah, I know she can.
Oh, listen, that's between you and between her. I'm just the medium, which means I'm in the middle. But please know that this is what your grandmother needs to tell you today. And this is what she tells me you needed to hear. So as stressful as it's been, I really hope that tomorrow gets a little bit easier